guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today for you guys is another TV show review. Now, I already have an Assassin's Creed tribute coming out. I'm currently working on that now. I'm going to be watching Andor, the new Star Wars show, soon, so look forward to that. I got Iron Man 3 coming up, which I actually pushed back because of Andor. I'm going to watch the first three, hopefully ASAP. Again, I have school, but a different story. Today we're tackling Rick and Morty Season 1 and 2 review. Now, this is the DVD or the Blu-ray I unboxed a few days ago, maybe like a week or so ago. And this is Season 1, 2, and 3. I actually just got Season 4 in the mail today. I'm going to do an unboxing video on that, of course, next. So look forward to that. But this is essentially, I'm on the the third episode of Season 3. So this is going to be a quick little review on Season 1 and 2. So, oh boy, where to start? Okay, so basically, this show was popular when I was in high school, right? And I wasn't allowed to watch it because it's an adults-only show. I guess, the equivalent of like an R-rated movie, I guess, or an M-rated game. So, when everyone else was talking about it, I wasn't allowed to watch it. So I, therefore, was like, okay, I don't care about the show, it's stupid. And, people online and around the whole world, they're like, oh, this is like the best animated show ever, man. It's so freaking funny. It's so good. It's like a giant pop culture, like extravaganza. And, upon watching the first and second seasons, it's not bad. It's actually pretty good. I think that the animation is good. I think the voice acting is very good. Again, Justin Roiland doing Rick and Morty's voice is kind of okay. But sometimes when Rick talks, you hear a little bit of Morty, and, he does all the background characters like Mr. Poopy Butthole and all these other guys. It's a real effing character, so trust me. But all these characters that are voiced by him, I don't really call that talent. I don't want to say I have talent and he doesn't, but again, when I do a voice, my Batman doesn't sound like my Joker, you know what I mean? Or my Joker doesn't sound like Master Wu. This guy's voice, like basically every other voice actor, like Tom Kenny, freaking James Arnold Taylor, they all sound the same, basically, in any role they do. And it's cool, but, I didn't notice it here or there. So the voice acting, for the most part, is pretty good. And again, animation's good, music is good theme song, good plot. It's basically like an R-rated Back to the Future, essentially, of, like, Doc Brown and Marty McFly, but, of course, Rick and Morty. And again, it is an adult-rated show. They say fuck, like, a lot. It is what it is. At this point, look, a lot of adult shows do that, where they're like, we're going to swear, we're going to have boobs, we're going to have gore, and that somehow automatically makes it a good show, because it's adult, even though that's immature to an extent. So, this show is, it does have blood and gore, it does have cursing, there's no sex scenes, but it does have some sex jokes, so it's a mature-rated show, but this is a good adult show. Like Smiling Friends, this is a good adult show like that. And again, I haven't reviewed Smiling Friends, that's a really effing good show. But basically, again, we all know, hopefully we know, there's three different forms of animation, right? There's a children's animation, which again is like Barney, Arthur, Dinosaur Train, stuff that is for adults. Hence Rick and Morty. And then you have the stuff for all ages, right? SpongeBob, Ninjago, Regular Show, Adventure Time, whatever, right? Teen Titans Go. That is for kids, teens, and adults. And again, I haven't watched a whole lot of adult shows. This is, I saw Harley Quinn. That got woke, so I stopped with that. Smiling Friends was good. I hope they make more. And Rick and Morty so far is probably one of my favorite. Like, it has a good plot to it where, the first few episodes are kind of just like, oh, Morty, Morty, we gotta go, Morty. And he's like, oh, jeez, it's just what it is. But it's funny. It isn't laugh out loud funny, Like, I don't know, maybe when all the kids were in high school and they heard, fuck Morty's shit, and they were like, I don't know. I don't find cursing that funny. They're just words, there's not like it's a sin to say them, but I don't know. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not. Half the time in this, they're not. I laughed a lot at these jokes that were actually all ages jokes, like, without any cursing. Just normal, funny humor, So, again, this could have easily fallen on the line of bad. It could have fallen on, like, horrible and cheesy and just really, really immature and dumb, like a lot of these, adult swim shows are. Thankfully, this is not the case. This is actually a really funny show, really well-made show. Is it my favorite show of all time? No, it's not even in my top 10. But I'm glad I bought it. I bought this freaking thing. Season 1 through 3 was like $12. I bought Season 4 and 5 for like 14 each. 13 each. So, it's a good show. I do recommend it if you haven't seen it. Of course, you probably have seen it. I'm probably the only one that hasn't effing seen it. But I think it's funny. It isn't, gonna win any awards in my book, but it definitely, does not deserve, I don't think this show deserves the pop culture status quo that it is, is getting. but that's not to say it's a bad show. It's just nothing special. It's funny sometimes. It's got good animation, good plot. It's basically another animated show, but it is different in that regard because it's adult, because they're cursing, because it's funny. But again, it's not just that. There's actually good stuff to it. There's some drama. There's some action. There's some good plot points. It's not just a giant, cursing gore fest, just to say that it is. This show has a point, and it's actually pretty good. There's a few jokes that are a bit, I didn't laugh at, but for the most part, I think it's a pretty funny show. Of course, Season 2 ends off in a cliffhanger where Rick's in jail. Season 3, of course, they break him out. I'm actually on the Pickle Rick episode, so that should be fun. But overall, of Season 1, 2, and halfway of 3, I think it's good. It has some really funny moments. Good animation for the most part. Good voice acting for the most part. I think that it's surprisingly deep in instances. It's not obviously like as deep as say Ninjago or like a really lore heavy show, but it is a fun show to think about. It's not just like it's not like SpongeBob where you watch Season 1 episode 10 and then Season 10 episode 1 and it's just completely like there's no plot in SpongeBob. That's just an example. There is a plot technically in the show. There are like literal plot episode arcs in this, and it's really good. And again, I don't think it deserves the status of hailing of best comedy show ever, but basically this was the show that, like I said, everyone thought was cool if they were watching it. And now that I'm of age to watch it, and all the hype has passed, it's pretty good. I don't think it's a great show. I think it's a good show, and I don't have any really true negatives. Again, there's one or two voice acting things where Justin was like talking as one guy and it sounded like another, but that's just me because I do voices, in my opinion, very, very well. So I do kind of understand. I can kind of review voices. I'm basically an unpaid voice actor. All these crazy people online. I identify as a toaster and all that shit. I identify as obviously a fucking male, but as a voice actor, and I'm just not getting paid. Hopefully that changes soon. But hope you guys enjoyed this little Rick and Morty episode or I had ice cream. It's like making me drunk. Season 1 and 2 review. I'm going to edit some of that out of Rick and Morty. Very fun show, and there's nothing too negative about it. I think it's fun. I think it's funny. But I mean, like I said, my real only gripe would be the voice acting. It's not necessarily gripping me to oh my god, what's next? But I did buy all the DVDs, so I do like it. I do recommend it if you haven't seen it. It's pretty funny, of course. On the box here, I think I got it from like Australia. I don't know. It says MA15, strong animated violence, coarse language, and blood and gore. That's basically what it is. On this one it says 15, the other Season 4 it said 14. So basically if you're like 16, 15, I guess you can watch it. I don't know, I'm not your parents. But now that I'm actually able to watch it, it's actually pretty freaking good. And, it feels weird because it feels like I missed out on so much. I recently watched Walking Dead Season 1. It was alright, it was pretty good. Now I'm watching, I got into The Simpsons kind of late too. Simpsons isn't an adult show, it's kind of in the middle. It's like it's not for children, and it's not for, it's more like a teen up, you know what I mean? This is more of an adult up, but it is funny to an extent. It's got pretty good animation, like I said. It's kind of hard to bring up new plot points, because that's essentially what it is. It's just manic adventures with Rick and Morty, some funny moments, some really good plot points, and hopefully, Season 3 and 4, the rest of Season 3 and 4, and I think Season 5 is coming in on Blu-ray soon. Should be a lot of fun. Season 6 is actually streaming right now, I believe on HBO Max or somewhere. So hopefully I can get that on Blu-ray too one of these days. I enjoy it. I'm probably going to give Rick and Morty so far as an overall series. From a 0 to a 10, I'll probably give it like an 8 out of 10. It's very good, but I wouldn't say it's like fantastic like regular show, Ninjago, Adventure Time, SpongeBob, you know what I mean? It's just not as well made as those. And it does sometimes rely upon cursing too much as its humor. And I know humor is subjective. I do laugh at curse words, but not all of them. You know what I mean? There's a lot of jokes in here that are just straight up funny because they're funny. Like I said, they don't need that crutch of a curse word or anything like that. So it's fun. It's funny. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this little review. Again, I try not to repeat myself too much, but again, it's kind of hard to talk about the show because, I mean, what is there to talk about? They go on crazy adventures. It's funny. You know what I mean? It's like, there's not much to talk about. I mean, they got really cool characters. The animation's really good. It's very vibrant, especially on Blu-ray. The colors really, really pop. So it's a very good-looking show in terms of not only the animation, but also just the quality of just, I guess, the drawings, I guess. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different, there's the house. And then there's also, you know, specifically like space and, you know, spaceships and distant planets like Star Wars planets, you know. So it's a good animated show in that sense, but I mean, it's all I can really touch upon for this review. Once I finish season 3 and probably 4, I'll come back and revisit this. But so far, I really enjoy Rick and Morty. Again, it's not like my favorite show or anything. I don't think it deserves all the hype it's getting, but it definitely is worth watching. Just maybe not to that extent where like everyone seems to be talking about it online. It's good, but I think, you know, I mean, why isn't Ninjago getting videos from news rock stars? You know what I mean? Oh wait, because this is in a dog show. You know, that's basically how these minds work of these people. But anyway, I do like it. You know what I mean? I probably didn't sound the most positive, but I mean, like I said, I mean, it's funny, it's fun. What are you going to do? Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Once I finish up Season 3 and 4, I'm going to come back, and then, you know, I will have my Season 4 Blu-ray unboxing very soon. Again, I'm actually, to end this video off, I'm glad I got into it. It's a pretty good show, and I can't wait to see more. And, yeah, you know, I mean, now I want some, what is it, Schwan sauce or whatever? I remember when that was freaking cute. That was crazy huge in high school. I mean, everyone's like, hey, you try the Schwan sauce? I'm like, what the hell is Schwan sauce? What are you talking about? This is English? And then I just watched that episode, and I was like, oh... okay, I got it now. So it's funny, like watching this show late, I'm finally understanding all the Easter eggs and the jokes. Apparently, the show is also canon to Gravity Falls. I know people, oh, it's not canon. Look, if you have Gravity Falls references and literally freaking Great Uncle Ford from that show in this show talking to Rick, I'm pretty sure it's canon. And yes, Gravity Falls is a show for kids, teens, and adults. It's one of those all ages shows. It's not a kid show. This is not a kid show either. This is very much an adult show. But it is cool to see that because the two creators are friends, they can literally slip things in. So yeah, in my book, Rick and Morty and Gravity Falls are two canon. I think Gravity Falls is objectively a better show. But so far, it's pretty good. And just seeing that in there is pretty cool. You know what I mean? Just connecting the worlds. You know, seeing Dipper and Mabel, little Mortys. I mean, it's cool. You know what I mean? So apparently there's like a Gravity Falls book with Rick and Morty references. So I'm going to have to check that out. If you know that book, tell me in the comments. But anyway, I tried not to go on too long. But again, I really wanted to hit the point home that it's nothing special to me, but it is good, and I'm glad I watched it. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.